inconsistencies with a lot of the statements made throughout the years.
Well, first let me say that I'm not super familiar with his abuse story. Moody, you said that there was a thread. Can you
give him the thread.
Let's just bullet point this. Let's go through the whole thing.
Let me put it in the chat here.
And Metokur, just so you know, any reference.
I heard. So I'll stay away from
the sisters kind of off limits. Yeah,
because like he said, she was a victim too, and I don't feel comfortable bringing her into it. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second while I pull this up.
Well, she
actually,
at you,
if it's okay, my brother, I don't know if he'll be mentioned in there, and he shouldn't be at all. But also, he is a sexual abuse survivor, and I don't think his story's ever in public or anything. And I don't think we should get into that if there's a speculation in there. So my brother and my sister, I'd like both left out.
So let me just start with a few things before we even get into the subject proper.
Sure.
The last time I was on this stream, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. I was trying to be as
yeah, you don't have to do that.
Generous as I could be when it came to the cancer stuff. You know, Destiny come in, he made these claims, you refuted the claims. I was a little confused because people were putting up good money. I know Mood is here right now. You had said that you didn't trust him. Oh, he's a liar. He would never put the money up. He's this
I still don't think
thieving bastard who just.
Why wouldn't I put the money up? Wait, why would I not put the money up? Explain it. What, you think I don't have it?
No, I know you have it. I just don't feel like you would ever give that to me.
If you had the evidence, bro,
I think you would have moved.
I swear on my mother's life, you would have made.
Well, you also said that if I get the bone density test and it proves it, you would not give it back.
No, I never said that. Don't fucking rewrite history.
Okay, so if I get the bone density test, I get 70 grand.
No, you don't get fucking anything.
That ship sailed.
That day you had cancer.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, so this is what I'm confused. I mean, like, you know, we started this off and you got offered a lot of money, you wouldn't take it. It was confusing to me. As time went on, a lot of stuff. I mean, I remember vividly on that stream and the follow-up streams, you were showing off your phone saying, look, here, I got it. I've got proof. It's on my portal. Look, Dezi says it's on my portal. I think that's her name, right? You know, it's on my portal, and it wasn't. And you admitted later on that it wasn't, that it was fabricated. You didn't have that information.
Yeah, it's not on the portal.
So, I mean, from my perspective, you've been going for 2 years talking about this cancer thing.
Sure.
You've had your colleagues and associates, people you talk to. You've been probably telling them the same thing you've been telling your audience. So if you can keep a lie up that consistently about something that seriously,
the only lie I told, everything else has been true. But Dr.
The only lie you told is a fucking whopper,
hold on.
buddy.
Again, to make it clear though, the lie I told was that it was not on my portal, and I did that because I was trying to people.
Well, based off my memory,
the reality of it is I've still been treated for this for 2 years. I've been treated for another.
No, you've been treated for a condition. You said that it was cancer. Then you told these guys, and I remember this from the stream. Well, he didn't actually say cancer. I had to Google it. And then
the sleep doctor originally did not.
Why would a sleep doctor diagnose you, but an oncologist?
He did not diagnose you.
So who gave you the diagnosis? A hematologist, an oncologist,
general practitioner.
So your GP gave you the diagnosis of cancer, not an oncologist or a hematologist.
And it's not a diagnosis. He just told me that I had signs of it in my blood.
Okay, so there you go. There you go.
Right. So again, that's different than I have cancer. But what my point is for 2 years you've kept this up. So now we're getting into something that's more heavy, right? Everybody in this chat agrees. Everybody on the internet agrees. It's a heavy subject to talk about.
And it's interesting because I've not been able to keep it up. I've constantly changed on this one. So I think it's...
So my question, I don't even care. My question to you is, why is it anybody should even give you the benefit of the doubt from the start?
They shouldn't. Before you even came on the stream, I said everyone's just going to say I'm lying anyway. It doesn't matter. This is just humiliation porn, but we'll do it. I don't care.
Well, you know, from my perspective, I don't blame Keem at all. I've seen Keem get a lot of crap for the last couple of days. Oh, this is fake. Oh, how could he do this? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he's P.T. Barnum. He's got this show that he's trying to run.
Yep, and I'm agreeing.
You dropped a big bomb on this guy by faking this cancer crap. And now we're getting into this stuff about abuse. Yep. So why don't you tell me, before we even get into the thread, why don't you tell me just the basics? And you can leave out the people you don't want to talk about. I'm fine with that. But just the basics of what your actual claims are. Because I'm going to read through this, and they're going to have screen caps of stuff you've said. So you tell me right now what the real story is when it comes to the abuse you suffered.
So through talking to my family and having a better understanding of what happened, when it comes to my mom, She wanted to make sure that I never left her. She wanted to make sure that I never was sexually attracted to other people. And that's one of the reasons she fed me wrong on purpose. We've talked about that before. Part of that was to...
No, can you expand on that? When you say fed you wrong, what do you mean?
She put the wrong foods into me and then forced me to eat them. You know, she would...
No, what I'm saying is like actually physically sat you down and force fed you. She just made you fatty foods. What do you mean?
No, she gaslighted me. She's like, everybody eats this way, Steve. This is how everybody eats, right? Everybody eats pizza. Everybody eats all this. You want to... And I'm like, why don't we eat the way they do on television, Mom? And they're like, well, nobody actually eats like that.
Was your brother?
But no, even from start. So you're trying to say that one of the aspects of the abuse you suffered as a child was your mother gave you pizza?
No, she would give me no healthy alternatives and encourage me to overeat on purpose.
Yeah, but your brother's not overweight, Boogie. Did you?
No, because she did. Right, she didn't do that to him. She didn't.
Right, but you didn't look as a child like, well, my brother doesn't eat like I eat. Why is that?
I don't know. I was a child.
You just like
never occurred to me.
bro.
Did she dress up as Annoyed? Like shove it down your throat?
I told you Jim would be able to make it funny. Yeah, I told you he'd be able to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna run with it. I get it. They're all they're walking on eggshells. I don't care.
Yeah, I like dark humor. I told Mutahar, I'm like,
and you're gonna love this conversation. So she fed you wrong, as in she gave you unhealthy stuff.
Yes, and provided no alternatives, and then like encouraged overeating.
And was it just you or anybody else? Was it just specifically singled out to you?
Just specifically me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My sister and my brother are actually very fit people. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So continue. So one of the things is just bad dietary guidance, I guess we'd say. Okay.
Right.
Keep going.
And so along with the mental, emotional, and physical abuse, there was sexual abuse from her, and it involved getting upset whenever I would see adult stuff on television, or for having erections, or for talking about women.
And what age is this, by the way? Like, can you give us a time frame?
The abuse really started when I was about 8.
Okay.
The food stuff had started before then.
Okay.
But the sexual abuse really only started about 8 or 9. It was after Dad got sick.
Okay.
Yeah, and so once Dad had his stroke, she kind of lost the plot, and that's where the stuff came in. I think also in retrospect, based on the things that she said before she died, a lot of it was to keep me from moving out or keeping from moving on. On my 25th birthday, she told me that she fed me wrong on purpose so that I would never meet a girl and I'd never leave her, because I was supposed to stay with her forever.
Wait, and how long?
I don't want to interrupt, but this is like the family retelling to you about your own the stuff that happened to you.
They've clarified a few things, but no, most of this is from my memory. They weren't at the dinner where Mom.
No, I think Moody's got a point. Didn't you say this was the family?
Yeah, this was his mother on her deathbed stating that she fed him.
No, that was my mother on my 25th birthday. She didn't die till 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how long you lived with your mother for? How long?
Till I was 18. I had to come home for summers during school and winter breaks during school. So, I mean, I often say I was there for 20 years, but realistically, I moved into a dorm room in the fall that I turned 18.
Okay. And so with your mother, we'll just stick with her for the moment. So the food abuse stuff, we'll get to that. All right. But
so the sexual abuse would
keep going. Yeah.
So her punishments would involve just making the physical abuse of a sexual nature. So she would grab my nipples, twist my nipples whenever she was angry. That was very common. I can't handle anybody like brushing against my breasts at all. It's very triggering. And then she would grab my genitals and twist them.
Like Keem was saying earlier, like titty twisters?
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes just yanking them and pulling on it, just frustration, you know? And she'd make fun of the fact that I was fat and had breasts and stuff like that, you know? And then the genital abuse was not as common as any of the other abuse. This would happen maybe once a year on average, I guess. But she would grab my genitals and twist them, and grab my balls and twist them, and
was there any reason that she keeps running already?
It would be because I saw like a tits on the television, or because I looked at a girl.
Did y'all have HBO or some shit? Like,
yeah. But also we would go to R-rated movies and stuff, but she would cover my eyes during it. You know, I was not allowed to see that type of thing.
All these movies and then beat the shit out of you for watching it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so she overfed you to give you breasts so she could give you titty twisters. She yanked on your nuts.
To Boogie Nights.
Yeah. One of the times that happened is when, one of the times that happened is when I had an erection early on, and she got upset about the erection because she could see.
How did she know you had an erection?
Well, I mean, I was fat, but I wasn't so fat that you couldn't see a pant tents.
Oh, okay, you weren't like sitting there naked or something.
Yeah, it was while I was going through puberty.
Okay, so you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So was this the majority in regards to your mother? Were these events? Occasionally she would grab your balls, she'd pinch your tits, and she'd feed you food. And that was like the majority, the bulk of what she did.
Yeah, it's the majority. I guess I should probably get into some of the minor things. They're probably on the list. She would also be nude in front of me, and then I walked in on her having sex with her boyfriend. And she claimed to be raped during that. And I went into shock. I was going to say dissociative, but Jackson Clark says I'm not dissociative, but I went into kind of shock, and I wandered out of the trailer and just started walking down the road. They had to come and pick me up, and she did not want my dad to know that she was having sex with somebody else. So she claimed that she was raped, and that helped reinforce the sex is dirty. Sex is dirty. I would never have sex. I only had sex to procreate. That's the only reason anyone ever should have sex. Having sex for pleasure is bad. And I would never have sex with this man because, he raped me. And then she exposed herself to me very frequently, even right up to the age of 18. She would be naked in front of me. She would sleep naked, and I was forced to sleep in the same room right up until I was about 16, where I.
So can I ask you? You said that this, you were with her till you were 18 and you left, and then you came back later on. Why didn't you go no contact, or why was this never reported, or did anybody else in the family see it?
Yeah, well, they saw the physical abuse. Brian saw that, and he's talked about that on the show. He saw what I went through, and he also saw what she went through. My sister, who I'm not going to talk about her sexual abuse in any way.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to stay away from your sibling.
Right. She got removed from the home when she was 12 because it was so bad. I still never understood why they left me and Brian. I understand Brian because he was so much older, and I think their explanation for me was because she had never really hurt me up to that point. And so Brian had his nose broken and burnt and cut and all that stuff,
So physical abuse for
Brian. Yeah, Brian, he got physical abuse, and then my sister got. Yeah, but
and then when you say removed from the home, do you mean by the state?
Yes, mom surrendered her to the state.
Okay, so this would have been reported to some kind of agency then?
Yeah, that would absolutely be very, very easily verified. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in regards to, you said it wasn't just mom; it was dad also.
Yes.
Okay, and then can you go over, I guess, the same thing with dad, when it started, what it was?
Dad really only had one isolated incident that comes to memory. There might be more. A lot of the times you block these types of things out. I did block some of it out until my brother mentioned things that had happened, and I was able to remember them then. But dad was an alcoholic, and he wanted to try to undo some of the abuse that mom had done, I think was his intention.
Okay.
And so he showed me pornography. I believe it was before he got sick, so I think that makes me 9 or 10.
And when you say showed you pornography, did he just say, "Hey kid, here's a tape, put it in the VCR," or did he say, "Come sit down next to daddy"?
Well,
on the bed? What did he say?
It was a magazine, and he slept on the couch, so it was on the couch.
Okay.
And he's like, we were home alone, and he's like, "Hey, so listen, your mom's got it wrong about sex. Sex is actually a really wonderful thing, and I want you to know about that." And he showed me pornography, and he asked me if I'd ever masturbated, which seems very weird because I was very young. And then he showed me how to do that, and then he invited me to. It was very hard to talk about. I'm sorry. He invited me.
We don't get into details.
Well, no, I mean, let's get it all out. He invited me to touch him, and I did.
Okay, and you're saying that was an isolated incident, so this happened once, that was it?
Yeah.
And so the other thing I'm curious about is, and I'm not going into what happened to them, but you said that you've been told more things from, you said your brother, about stuff that had happened?
Well, Yeah, and that involves other people, which we are not going to talk about here today.
Okay, but in regards to you though, is this a story your brother told you happened, or is this something that you're saying you remember?
Well, Brian has done 3 things for me in this regard. One time he told me about something that happened that I had blocked out entirely, and when he mentioned it, I guess my age would have been 5 or 6, so my memory wasn't great. But when he mentioned it, I remembered it very distinctly. What I mostly remember about it was the narcissistic abuse that came afterwards, because it's something that, well, I've talked this over with Dan. I don't know if I should go into more detail than that. But long story short, he clued me in on something that I had mostly blocked out. And then I discussed that with the third party, and they showed me their perspective. And it's something that I choose not to talk about online anymore. And I probably shouldn't have talked about it at all.
And as an adult, did you ever confront your mother about any of this?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She apologized on her deathbed.
For what? But I mean, about in regards to your father, not just her actions.
No, she never knew about what Dad did.
Okay. So these are those are the majority of your claims. Now, I mean, it'd been mentioned before, so I don't know. Penetrative, that kind of stuff, none of that ever happened, or it did happen, or it was something else?
I penetrated another person, but I other than a finger, I was never penetrated. Not by a penis or anything like that, no.
When you say penetrated another person, and again, if it's going into somebody outside these two, that's fine. You can just leave it vague. But was this something you were directed to do as a child, or you did on your own,
Yes,
or what are we saying?
It was directed to do as a child.
By your mom or your dad?
I don't.
Or somebody else. Somebody else.
I don't want to get into it. That's okay. That's too much.
And then, when this happened, how old would you have been? Can you give me a time frame on that at least?
I mean, my mom's sexual abuse lasted right up until I moved out of the home, and I believe that would have started right after Dad got sick, which would have put me at about 8 or 9.
No, I'm sorry. I meant in regards to penetrating somebody else. How old would you have been? Were you like 8 or 14 or 20 or what? What are we talking?
I think the first time would have been when I was about 6. The second time would have been when I was around 9. And then I guess I'm a little shaky on this one. Again, I'm trying to remember it through the memory of a child, through the lens of a child. There was a third time where it was encouraged by my mother, but I'm having difficulty remembering if that was something that happened. Okay. And that would have been when I was early puberty.
And so these are the bulk of the claims then. Like I said, I'm not familiar with it, so I want to get it from you before I go over this thread. So when we start comparing things,
okay.
But is there anything else? There wasn't like I was at the amusement park and a clown fucked me, or some kind of aunt and uncle thing, or some fucking neighbor thing. I mean, this is the majority is mom and dad, right?
I mean, there was a kid in the neighborhood that stole my bike and told me if I gave him a blowjob, he would give it back to me, and I must have been about 7 at that time or 8 at that time, and he exposed himself to me. He was an older kid. I think he was about 16, but I just walked away, and I'm like, keep the fucking bike. And then I found it later in town.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to open up. All right. So now that we've got kind of like a baseline, right, to go with.
Sure.
All right. So I've got this, Muta, this is what you linked me to, right? It was the link in the chat.
Yeah, this is what I was sent.
Okay, let's just go through it. I will try to redact as I'm going through this anything you didn't want to, the other parties, right? So bear with me. This is, I'm just going to read this verbatim. We're just going to go through it, all right?
And listen, okay, and I don't think anyone would fault me for this. I reserve the right to bow out. If I can't handle this anymore, and I believe it's going to put me in a dark place, I will bow out. And if you're upset about that, I understand. If you decide that made me a liar,
you can handle it however you want. Like I said, I know what you said you didn't want to talk about
I understand, but I'm saying, like, revisiting this is, I told Dan that this would be very difficult, and I'm trying my best. And I will do my best. I'll try to make it to the end, but I just want to warn you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, didn't you just earlier in the stream invite this conversation with Moody? You said,
yes,
let's talk about it.
And I did not realize how difficult it would be.
Yeah, so to be fair, I did not want to talk about this.
I understand.
Well, that's fair, but I just want to be clear here. I mean, this feels like a dodge.
No, it's not a dodge. I'm going to stay here as long as I can. It is possible that I will not be able to, and I just want to prepare people for that. So let's go.
Okay, because to me it feels a little bit like you didn't think any of them would be willing to do this, so you said I'm open to it.
I specifically asked for you, Metokur.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna go. So I'll read it verbatim. I'll redact as best I can. I don't know the names of people, but I can get the gist, so I'll try to avoid it. It's called Boogie's Inconsistent Rape Claims, and it's a lot of screen caps. That's mostly what we're dealing with. Okay. It says, I've been doing a lot of digging, checking around old archives, old tweets, old clips, and have managed to compile a very interesting folder of content that contradicts many of Boogie's alleged rape claims and molestation stories.
Sure.
Some of this is already common knowledge, and there's a great video that covers this, but I wanted to go one step further. Within, I'll be touching base on the changing abuse story of his, as well as tracking his supposed abuse stories at the hands of another party. So we'll just start going into it. Okay. The changing stories is what this section is called. Sure. Now, to my knowledge, Boogie didn't come out with his rape and molestation accusations until much later in the piece. Let's take a look at.
Speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is very common, and it is true in my case, that most survivors of childhood abuse will cover for their abusers, and they are also afraid to talk about it out of shame. And that is why in 2012 and early on, I would say that I had never been molested. I was feeling extreme shame. And I also felt like, especially when it came to my mom.
Wait, hold up. Why would you ever have to say you've never been molested? Who the fuck is blowing?
People asked.
Oh, really? No one has ever been molested. Are you fucking weird? What the fuck are you talking about?
In some of these screenshots, I would discuss the other abuse, and they're like, well, did you ever get sexually abused? And I would say no.
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking through my Twitter feed. Oh, have you ever been fucked in the ass when you were a kid? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
I think it was probably on Reddit, and I think it's because, but it happened. You'll see it in these screenshots, I believe. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not screen sharing again. I mean, I would, but I don't want to in case it brings up somebody's name you don't want mentioned, right? So,
sure, yeah.
All right, so. To start with, here we go. It says, this is the first screen cap I've got. I think Muta talked about like one or two of these and then I jumped on, but we'll just start from the beginning. My mother never raped me. And this is you responding to somebody called Panda Cat Attack. I don't know who that is. I should also add that when my mother would beat me, she would routinely straddle me. It never led to rape, fortunately. And that's back from April of 2012.
That's true. And like I said earlier, she never raped me. It was certainly molestation. One of the things I did say early on, and I confused, I thought that any time a child was raped, it was statutory rape. But people pointed out that I very much need to clarify molestation rather than rape.
So I guess my first question is, what even led into you talking about the abuse in the first place? You said it's common for people not to want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, here you are already opening the door to this.
Well, when it came to the, and I'm going to be as genuine as I can here, and I know people are going to hate it, but I'm going to be as honest as I can. I wanted to talk about the physical abuse because I felt that, number one, it would be helpful for me to share that story. Secondly, I thought that there are a lot of other people, and I've met them and at conventions and stuff, and they've told me like it made me feel less alone to know what you went through. And thirdly, the very first time I ever mentioned it, people responded positively to it, and this is the part everyone's going to hate, but I thought I would continue to share because I thought it would be beneficial to my career as well as help myself and help others.
Okay. The next clip, and this is, I guess, where I start to get a little confused here, all right?
Okay.
The next clip mentions more abuse, not of sexual nature, but this is what it states.
Okay.
My father was an angry alcoholic. My mother was insane. As a child, I had every type of abuse you could imagine done to me dozens and dozens of times. Yeah. It was not a rare occurrence. It was not a common occurrence. It was a daily one. Yeah. I was cut, burnt, choked, slapped, broken, screamed at, tortured mentally and physically. I could write a book about it, rivaling Stephen King. I plan one day to actually do so.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it for the record.
Okay, but here's where I'm confused. When we started this off, I said I wanted to get a baseline from you of what the abuse was because we're going to compare what you said and what's written.
Sure.
You gave me titty twisters, and you gave me genital grabbing, and a story about your father. But here in this thing, you're saying that, and you made it sound like you said, if we back the stream up, it was like a once a year thing. She'd grab my nuts.
For the sexual abuse, yes, but the physical abuse was constant.
Abuse is abuse. I asked for a baseline, but here you're saying.
I thought we were specifying sexual abuse.
I asked for all abuse, but here you're saying every day. So you were cut, burnt, choked, slapped, broken, screamed at, tortured every day by your parents.
Yep, Brian was too. He came on the show and talked about it.
Every single day.
If every single day did not involve physical abuse, it certainly involved emotional and verbal abuse. But yes, it was consistent daily. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the thing with your father, you mentioned one thing. The one incident with the sexual abuse.
Right.
So why did you start it with he was an angry alcoholic?
Because he was an angry alcoholic. I wasn't ready to share the sexual abuse part of it, but him and Mom got into tremendous fights, and it was difficult as a child to endure that.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have this is from 2014 now. You're responding to somebody that brought something up. Mm-hmm. They had said, hearing him make a casual rape joke on a consistent basis made me dislike him greatly. Your response to that was, but yeah, I hate how getting raped is a gaming term for some people. Complete shit, honestly. I avoid it at all costs. Mm-hmm. Later on, it says Boogie goes to claim that he was sexually abused. So it looks like starts getting talked about. So in 2012, you're talking about physical abuse. Then by 2014, you've moved on, at least according to these things. Right. Somebody had made a subreddit post, was Boogie abused? And then this is your response. This is from February of 2016.
Okay.
I've never gone into the details publicly because it happened at a very young age and the details are fuzzy. Most details come from my family letting me know what happened to me. Yep. I only remember bits and pieces. Yep. Short version, a few different family members of my family exposed me to sex and got me to participate at a young age. Yep. As a teenager, I was mentally abused about sex. Those details are worse than they sound. And I have only told one person about it, my wife. Sometimes I regret telling her, not because she reacted badly, but because I'm so...
Actually, hold on. That was a lie. I did speak to Danielle about it quite a bit.
I'm not sure who that is.
She was my teenage girlfriend. She was my best friend until she died of cancer at 39.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, this goes back to something Muta said earlier too, when it was like, is this your recollection or is this a family recollection? Even in 2016, you're saying this is something people told you about rather than something you remember.
Right. And so, like I said earlier, there is a thing that we cannot talk about because it involves third parties.
Yeah, and I don't care about that. But
what I'm saying is, as I told you earlier, they mentioned it, and I must have had it mostly blocked. But once the details were there, I remembered all of it. Yeah.
Okay, because and this jumps a little around in the timeline, but it says, I also found this tweet from 2013 where he claims to be a rape survivor. And this is you stating, trust me, if you've got the cure for recovering from mental illness and addiction and you're not sharing it, you're being a prick. You followed that up with, be sure to include how to erase the PTSD brought on by 18 years of daily mental and physical abuse, rape survival, and et cetera.
Right.
So, I mean, this is something, okay. So this is something you started to get into. I mean, this is like 11 years ago, right? You've been talking about this for 11 years at this point.
Yes.
Okay. We've got accusations against a third party that you didn't want to talk about, so I'll skip it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Again, it's another one I've got to skip. Mm-hmm. This is a lot I've got to skip about a third party. All right. Finally, Boogie recounts the side of things live on the Killstream podcast last year. He claims to have distinct memories. Okay. This is what I am confused about this.
I'm just going to say what Keemstar told me to say, and I'm going to say it. Okay.
Okay.
With this third party, I had a discussion with them, and I understood their perspective of it. And once I understood their perspective, I had forgiveness in my heart, and I decided to walk it back. So I tried everything I could to point out that my memories about it were fuzzy, and they were, and that I'm not sure what happened. And based on understanding their perspective, I'm not sure anymore. I trust their perspective more than I trust my own. But I guess the majority of this document they are having to skip over involves that.
Well,
I had
no,
a conversation with this.
Let me just interrupt you for a second. I won't name any names, but we're dancing around an issue here. But you were on a podcast.
Please, let's just get through it. I'm sorry.
No, you were on a podcast.
Hold on. I'm talking to my roommate. Yeah, I'm just going to get through it. Okay. Wait till if I start threatening to hurt myself or something like that, that's when we pull the plug.
The roommate and the girlfriend.
Come on, let's knock this bullshit off. All right, let's get through this.
This doc is long as fuck.
Yeah. What I'm curious about is, why were you on a podcast talking about this, and specifically talking about these people in these events, but you won't talk about them here?
Because time has passed and I've had a conversation with that person and they've asked me to stop doing that. And I am going to choose to do that for them because I love them.
Okay. And I'm going to be as vague as I can about this, not talking about any specific individual, but there is one portion of this that is confusing to me because it says that you settled with the excuse that a certain particular person gaslit you into believing that another particular person did something to you.
Sure.
Okay, was that a lie?
It was my attempt to walk it back. Yes, I was trying to do a favor for the third party involved.
Okay. This is what makes this difficult and messy is you go online and talk about shit like this.
Well, it was many years ago, and I'd agreed to not bring it back up, but here we are.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this wasn't just like a one time because there's another one. Like what are the dates on this? I can't even remember. I mean, the first was a kill stream appearance, like I said, but then there's another one from 2019, a kill stream appearance.
The issue is when you initially told this story to the internet, and no details again, but when you told this story to the internet, you didn't care what that person thought.
Nope. I was very angry and I was very hurt.
You just said this person did this to me, right?
Yep. I was very angry and I was very hurt.
Then they called you and said, "Hey, this is making me look bad."
It took several,
which is obvious, right? That it's obviously. Wait, let me finish.
But what they specifically explained to me, Keem, was, look, I was a child, and I did this when I was a child, and I would never meant to hurt you. I love you. We're family. I've always wanted the best for you, and I'm very genuinely sorry that bad things happened. And you need to understand why it happened. And then you
said, okay, I forgive you. Now I'm going to go make myself look like a liar and tell the internet that I was wrong.
It took several conversations across quite some time. Yeah. It took, then I realized
it's crazy that I can never talk on my own show chat. I always get interrupted, but go ahead.
I mean, again, I try to answer the question as soon as I realize what it is.
Keem, can you please be quiet? We're having a conversation over here. I mean, this is weird. What kind of situation is this then? I mean, you say, let's bring it up to talk about it, but then, and I'm fine with being vague about it. But
we're going to be vague about it.
Yep. But then I look through and you weren't vague about it for multiple guest appearances on another show.
Yep.
And then you're bringing up stuff like, well, I lied because of this, or I was gaslit into this.
Right. At the time, I was originally very angry, upset with this person, and I wanted to discuss it. And after understanding their perspective and understanding what happened, I began to walk it back out of love and kindness. And if I am being genuine with you here, I will tell you that what happened because they were also a victim.
Yeah, but why didn't you just defend that person? What you should have did is you should have had a second statement saying what I said is the truth, but this person was also a child. You don't have to lie to your audience.
I'm doing that now, but I did what I was asked to do.
But what you should have done in that situation is you should have went back to the internet and said, hey, look, I said this and I want to give this person charity. We've spoke. They're very apologetic. And I want to give the context that they're also a child. So if anyone's like saying horrible stuff to this person, just know that they're also a victim. That's what you should have done. But instead you decided, oh, I forgot what I was saying back then.
I did what was asked of me.
Why is lying the go-to? Like, it is not the go-to.
I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that we saw our family lie constantly to navigate the world. And I think that
makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That
right. And you're taught to lie at an early age when you're being abused. You know, you would have to go to school with scars and burns and cuts and bruises, and you'd have to make up reasons for why that happened. And if it wasn't convincing, then things would get considerably worse at home if they got a phone call at home, then things would get considerably.
Do you have scars from the burns?
I feel like this third party.
I don't really think so. No.
These claims and lost their shit at you and told you not to be making claims. That's what I think. I think this third party got involved and told you you're making wild claims. You need to fucking not be making them. It seems like any third party we're admitting are the ones that actually are alive to.
All right. Well, that's not what happened, but okay.
All the burns happened on your stomach?
I think so.
Well, what do you mean you think? You know, or you think? Were you told, or what?
I don't remember any that happened to my arms, but there's a lot of things I don't remember from being a child.
I want to talk about something that you stated in a blog post that happened when you were 4.
Okay.
I remember her claiming my dad was a faggot because she found blood in your fucking underwear.
Yep.
Even though my father was in reality a severe alcoholic, he claimed it was feces. In all likelihood, he'd shit himself at that point. I was around 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you had said there was no penetrative sex that had happened.
Not with a penis, no.
To you, though. But this is an episode at 4. You said the earliest abuse with your father happened when you were around 8 or 9.
I'm confused as to what the question is. Yes, my mom called him a faggot. He did have blood in his underwear.
Oh, she was claiming it was his underwear, not yours.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that would be the thing.
We could probably chill out on the F word.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Slang version.
I mean, we're using it in the proper context. You know, I'm not calling anybody that. We're just discussing what was said. That's it.
The other thing was, unfortunately, these are not the only memories. And again, I'm trying to keep this as I can. You said that your mother never touched you till you were 11 or so, but you said that the abuse you suffered happened much earlier than that.
Yeah, I think it was closer to 8 or 9. It's whenever my dad got sick. That could have been as late as 11. I don't know the year, and I could call my brother to find out. But it's whenever.
Yeah,
that
but you have
happened.
2 statements online, and they don't match up. That's the whole point of the fucking thread. Boogie.
I understand, and like I said earlier, my memory is very foggy right
then
now.
Why, if your memory's foggy, okay, you're talking about such a serious issue. If your memory's foggy, don't fucking say it. Don't say it. How about not telling the fucking internet?
Be talking about it, and I don't plan to talk about it moving forward.
You should never have to walk back like a rape claim or something like that, or a sexual abuse claim. Like,
well, Keem, like the contradictions get more because there's a tweet from 2019 where it said, "Well, she was molesting me when I was 5. Pretty sure that was statutory rape." When you're saying that she was molesting you at the age of 5,
it was not my mother. It was the third party that we're not talking about.
Okay. All right. So that's a different party altogether. All right.
Yes.
All right. More tweets of Boogie claiming that his mother molested him. These are specifically related to your mother from 2018. I feel this way because I was raised by a monster.
Not Chad, please. Just let us get through it, okay?
I feel this way because I was raised by a monster who sexually messed me up physically and mentally. Mm-hmm. Yet she helped hundreds of kids. Do you mind if she's passed away, correct?
Yeah, Wanda Williams. Is that what you're wanting to say her name or something?
No, not her name. Her profession. I didn't want to
Yeah, she taught Head Start for 25 years.
Oh, yeah, as a Head Start teacher who was credited for their graduation speeches. But I can't help but look at a person and see a pile of good and a pile of bad. Mm-hmm. I forgave the person who molested me, so I guess that's a way of probably too forgiving. Yeah. I was raised by a monster. Again, it goes into this torture and molestation. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the weird things that I keep encountering is in the blog posts and the Reddit posts and in the Twitter posts, the ages and the dates and the events all seem to shift.
Yep. I was a child and it's difficult to pin it down.
So how are you sure any of it happened then?
Oh, I have memories of it. I just I didn't check the calendar when it was happening. I just remember.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm curious about is, and again, this goes back to 2 third parties. One saying that you said gaslit you. How do you know that they're not just telling you bullshit?
Because I remember it. I have the memory.
But if they had to tell you for you to remember.
It is common, I think, for victims of abuse.
You think
sometimes,
but it's not actually how it is.
Well, I think it is actually. I believe that it is. I've been told, but that it is. It is common for victims of abuse to sometimes, as a survival technique, to not remember some details or some things.
You know what I think? I think that you probably did get abused, and I think you grew up in a fucking really shitty household. I think that's 100% true. Yeah. But what I also think is anytime someone called you out on the internet for something completely unrelated, your response was, well, I have a fucked up head because I was molested.
Sure.
I've heard that so many times from you for the last fucking decade. Anytime you get in trouble for anything, you go on Twitch and you say something racist or Hitler was not that bad or something you said like that, right?
Well, Hitler was pretty bad. I've never said.
You said something like he did good things or something. Right?
Well, no,
that was me. That was me.
Let me clarify what I specifically said. I was taught in high school. No, let's
get this word.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get everything out, right? So let's get this one out. I was taught in high school that when the Nazis surrendered, we took several of their scientists and helped.
Yes, Operation Paperclip.
Operation Paperclip.
Right, and so
weapons technology. It was
right, and so what I said to Ethan Ralph was, I'm like, hey, here's something your audience might agree with. You know, I guess I know that. We learned a lot by letting those Nazis surrender to us, and that turns out that's a fallacy. Well, it's actually incorrect.
If I remember correctly, that's fine. I remember correctly throughout the years of you getting in trouble, people being on your ass, and you being like, "Well, I was molested as a kid. I got cancer. Well, I got cancer. I was molested, and I got cancer." You know, like that's. Like these
I mean, what you're describing is covert narcissism, and yes, I've admitted to it in the documentary, which was one of the true parts of the documentary. Sure.
This is why people are so frustrated with you, is because of the lies and the manipulation, and these stories now don't even match up. And you're like, well, I think I have the memory, but someone had to remind me of the memory. And
the dates are wrong, but yes, the details are still accurate.
Why talk about it? Why talk about it? You know what? If there was one statement online,
I'd rather not be. Can we be done, or is Metokur
we're
done?
Close to being done, I think. But if you had one statement online, Boogie, listen to me, hear what I'm saying. If you had one video talking about your abuse and that was it, and you never talked about it again, like a normal person operates that way. Like I've seen multiple creators talk about abuse when they were a kid. They don't sit there and put it on every tweet when they're in a controversy.
Like my brother, I'm obsessed with it. It never leaves the forefront of my mind. I think about it all day, every day. I've never recovered from that.
I'm sure a lot of people have it, but they don't tweet it every day. That's the difference.
My brother talks about it constantly, actually. Even in his professional life, it's gotten in trouble there.
All right.
So,
whatever.
I'm just trying to be clear that it's something I'm not going to do moving forward as best I can. I'll probably fuck it up.
Let me ask the chat. I'm sure you've seen an influencer at some time come out and say, hey, I want to talk about this abuse that happened to me. They don't talk about it fucking once a week. They don't tweet about it once a week. They don't make multiple videos throughout the years. The fact that Metokur has a thread here and he could go, in 2012, you said this, in 2016, that just goes to show that you're talking about this nonstop.
Yeah, what you're describing is a tool out of a covert narcissist toolbox, and it's
you're not really fucking covert, so just say narcissist.
That's right.
Well, okay, it's not that you're a covert narcissist. Covert narcissism is you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Right? Feel bad for me. Feel bad for me. That is not just narcissism. That is specifically.
Who the fuck even wants to know these terms? Why do you know all these like terms about fucking psychology and shit?
To have a better understanding of
every time I talk to someone and they know all these little terms, they're fucked in the head. And the only reason why they know them is because they go and talk to counselors every fucking second of their goddamn life, so they can learn about the next thing that they can be a victim of.
I'm back in therapy again. I'll be in therapy. I'm talking to my therapist.
Exactly, you're a professional victim.
Does not fucking work.
It helped tremendously.
It does not help.
Therapy doesn't
remember
help at all.
I'm the person that was a millionaire.
So I mean, here's the problem we're encountering, right? Like the bulk of this story, the bulk of these claims, we can't touch upon because
we have touched upon them up to saying the person.
Well, I mean we can't because you don't want to talk about them. But a lot of this is stuff you've talked about before, and I get you. Right. You said you made amends. You don't want to talk, but I will say one of the third parties at the close out of this thing at the very bottom, when they said, should we believe Boogie about these claims in regards to third parties, says, fuck no.
Yeah, you don't have to believe me. I don't really care. That's okay.
Well, it says one third party said you were gaslit. The other third party said you were essentially lying.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's what they wanted me to do. So I achieved what they wanted me to do. That's good.
No, they're saying about just the abuse and sexual abuse allegations.
Oh, okay. They don't believe any of it. That's okay.
No. One said that it was gaslighting, but the very end, like if... Muda, if you want to look at what I'm looking at, if you scroll down to the very bottom of that particular post, it said, should we believe Boogie's story, from 4 decades ago or whatever?
Hell no. Yeah, I don't care if you do. Listen, here's what it comes down to. My brother knows it happened. My sister knows it happened. I know it happened. And my father and mother were still alive. They knew it happened. It doesn't matter what you guys think. This is just reality.
Wait, you said your sister knows it happened?
Yeah, my sister.
She's the one that's saying we shouldn't believe you.
I understand. What I'm saying is she knows what happened. That's it. I'm not going to get into any more details.
Well, and that's the problem. I mean, how do we talk about it if you won't go into detail? That's weird. Why would you say let's talk about it, but let's not talk about it?
Because she's still alive. And
so you'll talk about things that happen with dead people who can't defend themselves, but the two people that are around that could defend themselves, you don't want to talk about.
Because they've specifically asked me not to. Yes.
And they never mentioned it before. You went on all these multiple podcasts for multiple years talking about it incessantly, not to do it.
Nope. And only after they asked me to walk it back did I, and then I did. And then I'm going to protect that person now, and I'll continue to protect them.
So it's like the perfect Kafkaesque excuse. Like, well, we can't. How do we get into talking about something we can't talk about?
Well, at the end of the day, listen. What you do is you just assume I lied and move on, and that's good for them and it's good for me. So assume I lied and move on.
To be fair, that's what Boogie said at the very beginning. He goes, "There's no point in talking about this because I can't prove anything I'm saying."
Yep.
Well, no, there is a point in talking about it, but not if we can't talk about it. You know what I mean, Keem? Like,
here's my thing. Like,
why would you want to?
I believe Boogie at this point. I don't think every detail.
I don't believe a single fucking thing at this point. How many lies have you guys been force-fed over the last week that you're still buying this bullshit?
Well, I mean, Jim, let's be real. The guy's fucked in the head. He had to have been fucking titty twisted or something. Something happened to that fucker.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Could I accept that? Like, somebody dressed up as a Noid and threw pizza at him? Sure. But like, I mean, we're going into a claim of like every fucking day nonstop abuse.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
Hold on.
Something happened to the guy. Somebody pissed in his cornflakes.
Call Brian Williams.
I've heard enough of these Boogie stories. There's a lot of it that comes together the same all the time. Does every detail match? Probably not, but he's probably recalling it.
Hey Brian, real quick, can you tell people that my mother was physically and emotionally and abusive? Could you do that for me, please? They don't believe us, so I just wanted to have a third party.
They believe. I mean, it's well documented. Hell, her damn. She lost her kids.
Yeah.
Or lost her daughter because of it.
Yeah.
She had several defects reports.
Yep.
She had several issues at work.
Yep. Like I said, I don't care if they believe me, right? Like I told them as soon as we started discussing this, no one would believe me, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what happened. I know what happened. That's all that matters.
But that's the same brother that said you had cancer. That's the same brother.
Yeah. He's still seen the paperwork. Yeah. He still knows that I'm being treated for that. Yeah.
Just stop defending yourself for something that you don't need to defend yourself.
That's fair. All right. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
to be fair, Boogie, two of us are saying we do believe you.
I believe him. I believe something happened. I just know that with him saying the story over and over again, he's definitely has lied. He has lied. He has lied.
Yeah. I chose to walk something back, and it was a lie. And
I think it's more than that because your stories don't match up. That's the whole point of the fucking thread.
I certainly got the dates blurred because I don't know the specific dates because I was a child.
Yeah, and that's why I went to ask you, was this something that you remembered, or was this something you were being told? Because then he went on to say you were being gaslit on one interview, which would mean that you were being told false shit, right?
Yeah, I walked it back for the third party involved because I wanted to do what they asked me to do.
Can I ask you in regards to that, when you mentioned the gaslighting stuff, when you say you walked it back, were you walking it back as a favor to them, or were you walking it back because it was genuinely not true?
I was a favor to them. This is the thing I didn't want to.
That's a good question, Jim. That's a really, really good question, Jim.
I had new context for the thing that happened.
Oh, so there you go. See, good question, Jim.
So I chose
there was something that was not true in the original statement.
Well, I'll tell you what the original
very
statement
good
was.
question, Jim.
Hold on. Going back, in the original, my original feeling of it was that it was malicious, but they explained to me that they were a victim as well. They explained to me they were a child as well. And I had that new perspective. And so I'm like, all right, then I have forgiveness. I thought it was malicious.
Yeah, I'm not trying to play. Listen, kids being made to do terrible shit. I'm not trying to place blame on fucking kids. They're innocent. Yeah. My problem is like, how do we talk about a subject where there's so many different dates and so many different accusations and they're all shuffled around?
Yeah.
But then we can't specifically mention
Well, I
something.
mean, everyone's just going to assume I made it up, and that's okay. I said that at the beginning.
Well, and it's okay. Why? Because you've lied about a lot of other shit, right?
Right, and also because I know the truth, and that's all that matters.
Not that, but because you have lied about a lot of shit.
But I'll tell you what bothers me.
Sure.
What's good for me. It's like my brother said. We know the truth. It doesn't matter.
And so these state reports, why haven't that would be publicly available, right? Why haven't
certainly yeah? Her name was Hold on. Let me give Kiwi Farms all the ammunition they need to look it up.
Wait, just let me.
Hold on. Can I finish the statement?
At the very beginning, before you joined the stream, Wings, you were talking about like. Apparently, you guys were like earlier in the in a vehicle, and like Boogie was on the phone with the sister, and she was like mad because she was lying about stuff.
Yes.
When were you on the phone with my sister?
No, I wasn't. You were on the phone in the back of the truck.
Oh shit!
You were talking to your sister, and she was
I wasn't
at you. Yes.
No, I wasn't. I didn't call my sister. What are you talking about?
Your sister called you. I even know.
During this trip to New York,
Wings. How are you going to sit there and tell me this guy doesn't lie when you're recalling something and he's telling you you're a fucking liar to your face, Wings?
He's fucking lying. No,
he's
I
calling
did not
you
talk
a fucking
to my
liar,
sister.
Wings.
I don't talk to my sister.
My wife in here. She was in the truck.
Go right ahead. You're mistaken.
Wings, you're defending a guy that's painting you as the asshole.
Why would I lie about this? Why would I lie about this? You are mistaken. I was not on the phone with my sister.
Don't increase your voice, Wings. Your wife knows. Can she be an eyewitness to this?
Oh yeah, bring her in.
Boogie, I think you need to really refresh your memory. Why would Wings lie about that?
Hey, Dezi, come here.
Why would Wings lie? Wings ain't lying about that. Come on.
Dezi,
I don't see any reason Wings would benefit from lying about that.
I'm going to bring my
turn. Wings lie about that shit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Wings versus Boogie. Both of their women are coming in to testify. Did Boogie, on the way to Keemstar's 4th of July party, talk to his sister about the abuse on the phone and Wings overheard it? Or did Wings make this story up? We got Dezi versus Kelly, Boogie versus Wings, and Lies versus the hardcore truth. Here we go.
Let's go.
Wings for Keemstar.
Yes.
And we had Dezi and Boogie in the backseat of the car.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on.
Was Boogie on the phone?
Yes.
Was Boogie on the phone with his sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. So here's the question.
Even
Dezi.
the dog fucking backed that up.
Dezi, when we were on the way to the 4th, of July party, okay, did I talk to anybody on the phone?
No.
Did I get a text from my sister?
I don't remember you getting a text from your sister. I mean, I honestly don't. I mean, if she did.
But did I talk to my sister on the phone while we were in the back of the truck?
No.
Of course not.
No, you didn't.
Ooh, this is getting good.
Now the reality of it is I did get a text from her, but I didn't call her. I don't have any calls to my sister. I haven't talked to my sister on the phone in over a year. We have texted.
And after you got off the phone with me, you specifically, I was driving, so goes, this is why I can't say anything on the internet about my sister.
Yes, because of a text. I did not talk to her on the phone.
So you're saying Wings and his wife are liars?
No, I just think they're mistaken.
No. They're lying.
Are you sure? Oh, wait, Wings. Are you sure it wasn't a text? Are you sure? Did you hear him talking to his sister directly?
This is where it's muddy. You got me questioning myself, but
of course I do, because you're fucking wrong.
He was on the phone, and after he got off the phone, he talked about his sister and the internet stuff.
I did talk to you about my sister, but it's not because I talked to her, because I didn't talk.
And he
to her.
was doing one of these, Wings, like phone up to the ear on the phone, talking to someone.
Don't get confused. You have an eyewitness, Kelly. Ask her and just clarify.
I got a question. Wait, Boogie. We can settle
ask
this.
Kelly if she knew I was specifically on the phone.
We can settle this out right now. Go back to July 3rd on your phone and see if you made a call to your sister or she made a call to you.
Okay.
Scroll back to July 3rd. It would have been July 3rd, right?
Yep.
Yeah. July 3rd. It was that day. It's the day we brought all that pizza and wings to your house.
Yep, July 3rd.
No,
ladies
sir.
and
no, sir. No, sir. I talked to my roommate. I talked to Dezi on that date. I talked to Jordy.
Show us instead of telling us. Just show the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. There's some phone numbers on here that I don't necessarily want to show, but I'll send it to. I don't want to
screenshot and send it to me. Right now.
Yep. Absolutely. Here's the entire of it. And as you can see, my fingers have not deleted anything.
I might have been mistaken on the call, but he was.
Because you are.
Because he was actively talking to his sister.
To be clear, though, you can delete call history.
Yeah, that's why you swipe a finger. So
but even he's walking it back. Even he's walking.
Well, I'm walking it back because I'm not
being
100%
gaslit
sure.
right now.
There's no gaslighting. Desi knows I.
But I do know
I have
for a
not
fact,
talked to my sister. Hold on a second. Hold on.
I do know
Let's
for a
see if
fact
she'll
I was
participate in
driving.
this fucking shit show. Hold on.
We don't need him to participate.
No, we're gonna call my sister. Fuck it.
But I do know for a fact.
No, we're gonna call my sister.
And you started talking about your sister.
Let's just talk.
Hold on. I'm gonna call my sister right now.
Let's go.
All right, you're opening the door on this.
I know.
We've been dancing around
I
third
know.
parties.
I'm entirely certain I didn't talk to her on the 3rd.
Hey.
Hey, when was the last time I talked to you on the phone?
Dang, I don't know. I can't remember.
Was it July 3rd? Just this last July?
Maybe.
Maybe or certain? I need to know for certain.
I would have to go through my call log or my text messages.
Can you do that for us real quick? I'm on live stream right now, by the way.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
You want me to do it while I got you on the phone?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, hang on.
I'll say something for certain. Boogie's sister sounds like she can cook some good fried chicken.
I agree. Is that racist, by the way? Do you mean that racist?
How is that racist?
Hey, you brought up curry with Muda. You brought up curry with Muda.
Because my nephews and nieces are black?
What?
Your sister ain't black.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
How the fuck we gonna know that?
The 19th.
Just the only date that matters is the 3rd. Can you confirm I didn't call you or you didn't call me on the 3rd? Well, no, he's saying it took place on the 3rd.
I mean, what exactly are you asking me?
Whether or not you and I talked on the phone on July 3rd.
Honey, I never erase anything, so it would take me about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, do you have a remembrance of us talking on the 3rd?
What did we talk about?
I didn't call you. I don't think I called you on the 3rd. Do you remember me calling you on the 3rd?
Talk about the abuse. Say that.
Well, no.
I mean, every time we talk, there's a topic, a birthday or something with the kids. Oh, was it when Michaela graduated?
Yeah, I think we texted about that day, actually. Hold on, let me check.
We did.
Yeah, we did not. There was no phone call, though, correct?
I don't think so because you told me to tell her congratulations and blah.
Thank you. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Why? What's the point?
I don't know. They're just being fucking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 20,000 live concurrent viewers trying to find out if Boogie spoke to his sister on July 3rd. This is the most exciting content in the fucking world.
Hey, here's the other thing. I don't think I texted her on that day either.
You just said you did.
I know. I think I might have, but that's the only thing.
Dude, there's no way Wings is making this up out of thin air, and Kelly is backing him up. I discussed my sister that day. I just didn't call her. I'm telling you, I discussed.
She never confirmed or denied it, by the way, too.
Okay, well then you guys are gonna have to.
So Wings, what did he say exactly?
Let me send you. Let me send you the text history.
He was talking about how she didn't want to be on the internet and that she wants nothing to do.
So he calls her up live on the stream.
Yep.
Like what he's doing there is more damaging than anything else.
It's like, what are you calling me for? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking.
I just don't want you guys sticking a lie to me that's not true. You know, that's important to me.
Why do you care? You're so guilty of so many lies at this point. Take a couple hits.
Because I would like to not.
Well, why would Wings lie about this?
He's just mistaken. It's not that he lied.
Do you guys find it really funny that Boogie's like, hey man, I don't want you to catch me in a lie that isn't true. But you're gonna let the cancer thing go for fucking 2 years and fight tooth and nail over it.
I did. Okay, so here is what Jordy's talking about. So I do have a text from her that day, and she had seen the episode that we did about
maybe Brian's episode.
My brother with my brother, and she said, "You sure did mention me a lot in this. I really wish you would." Is basically what she said. And then that's why I said to Jordy, based on a text, not a phone call, Jordy. Based on a text.
Like I said, I'll walk that back. I'll admit it might have been a text.
Yep.
So you got a text and then you started venting in the car about your sister and why you don't want to talk about the sister on the internet.
No, I didn't vent about her. I just said, this is why I don't talk about her on the show, because she specifically doesn't want me to.
I think you specifically said she doesn't like you.
I know.
So
she
this
likes
leads
me
us
quite a bit.
what
She
Muta
likes me
was saying
quite a
earlier.
bit.
Muta, what was your original point? We got a little lost in the weeds here on text or phone call.
I mean, before I was just saying, like, Wings brings this up in the beginning that like he doesn't want to bring up his sister, like whatever, and then like fucking. Sorry, hold on. I gotta collect my thoughts.
I mostly just don't want to bring up the sexual abuse that she endured. I know, but I'm just saying. Let me clarify.
Let me.
I do not.
I have the fucking speaking cup. Hold on.
No, you said you needed to collect your thoughts.
Damn, you got Tim Hortons too?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. My thing about this is obviously Wings, I think, should probably bring in Kelly just so like a side thing, but whatever. This is like a text message. You don't want to talk about this third party, right? At all. Like this third party in this entire situation.
Or my sister, right? Or my sister.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So let's just fucking say your sister, right? Yep. Who's like the only person.
Well, no, I'm saying either this third party or my sister. I don't want to talk about either of those.
Fucking damn it. Okay, anyways. We don't bring up a third party. I think the audience fucking, I guess, knows, whatever. The third party we don't bring up. We start at the beginning. This is the only person that can corroborate whether it's right or wrong, like whether your whole situation is truthful.
Right. And I literally have a text I can show you right now that says, please stop talking about me on that show.
Here's the
thing. I can literally show you that she doesn't want to be talked. Oh, no, hold on. I'm going to send this to Dan. I'm going to send this to Dan right now.
Okay. You don't even have to send it to me. We all believe that you have that text. Go ahead, Muta.
So like the whole thing is obviously the only people that can't corroborate the situation is like mom and dad because they're fucking long dead. They can't fucking resurrect.
Well, my brother can.
Speaking cup. Someone has the speaking cup. It's not you. Stop interrupting. The guy can't fucking say a sentence, Boogie. Stop this now.
So you got your whole sister over here, or whatever third party that can corroborate you. You make these statements and you have to walk back something because you definitely got threatened by this third party to get your shit together and not lie about these situations.
Not threatened. No, that's not what happened at all.
And then walk back this whole story.
That's not what happened at all.
Even literally, as of right now, we're sitting in a situation where we start off. We mention, you discuss your sister in the very beginning. You talk to her. And then, Wings is here trying to like fucking tell us, yes, this is a person you're speaking to. And then we get into this whole side tangent, right? You said your sister said that you were lying. That was one of the points that I brought up. Your sister said that you were lying about her shit, right?
Yes, and I corroborated that to walk it back, yes. The reality of it is, and I guess I'm just outing everybody involved, I really feel manipulated into it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Everything that happened between us happened when we were children. We've come to an understanding of it. If you don't believe that, that's fine.
How are you manipulating anyone with that statement? You've already said that. They are manipulating.
I'm being manipulated into saying something I don't want to say.
Not really, because you've already said that. You've already said that.
No, but I'm going to say it. Let me say it. The thing that happened, it was children. We were children. And we did something that's not even that abnormal for children to do. It looks like it happens occasionally between children. And that's why I walked it back. Because I had a better understanding of it, and I didn't want to ruin that person's life because they felt like it was ruining their lives.
Even when you called your brother, you never even mentioned like sexual abuse. You just said,
well, he wasn't in the room for the sexual abuse, and he doesn't want to discuss his sexual abuse on this shitty show. Why would he want to talk about the sexual abuse?
So he wasn't in the room to corroborate your sexual abuse?
No, that's a very private thing.
Can we just come to the conclusion?
You think my dad called my brother from college, said, come watch me jerk off with your baby brother?
I don't know. Maybe.
I thought that would be the next video. That would be the next statement you have in your next video. I mean,
there's one more thing I want to talk about before while we got Muta and Boogie here. I recently made a YouTube video, shocker. But, and a lot of people say I called Muta a liar in that video because I said that Boogie did not force Dezi to drink at the party.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know where the force
where's the forced shit come from?
For me, what I was going, while you were forcing drinks down?
Because that's why I asked you the other day. Like,
no, I literally like at the party when like fucking shots were brought up and your girlfriend or whatever, your kid was like completely fucking just beyond blitzed. Okay, like that's what you look like when I showed up. And when people were like, just like shots came up, you're like, yeah, do a shot, dude. I'm like, do not do a shot. And
right, obviously, yeah. No one was going to give her a shot.
I don't know if you were there. I think you might have been.
You were
because
there.
I didn't see that while I was there. Because that's why I asked you, did anything happen after I left?
The whole Boogie's girlfriend is wasted and Boogie's feeding her shots scandal that's happened all over Reddit is just not true. Boogie sat in a chair and he didn't leave the chair unless he was getting food or a drink.
Or sitting next to me.
Actually, no, somebody brought me food and I only sat down next to you after
somebody brought you food. You didn't even go get your own food.
Yeah. Actually, what's his name? Well, I wasn't going to leave her side. She was throwing up, man. I wasn't going to leave her side.
Wait, you got food while she was puking?
Well, no, specifically overt flow. No, listen, overt flow brought over a burger. The only food that was there, I didn't eat any of. But overt flow brought over a burger and said, get some food into her. And so we ended up feeding her hamburger bun, but she wouldn't eat.
Wait, you got up to fucking sit next to me? But you didn't get up to get her food?
Well, I got up. No, listen, I got up. I got up to sit next to you after she sat up and told me she was okay. And once she was able to stand up and walk, I thought, hey, she's fine. I can go do this thing that Keem wants me to do.
Because like when me and Kelly left, the minute we thought that she was going to be okay.
Keem wants me to do this.
Yeah, wait. What did Keem? Why do you always say
Keem wants me to do this?
You were filming, so that's why I got up and walked over there.
No, I filmed after you guys were arguing. You guys were arguing, so I pulled up my phone and started filming.
Oh, well, that's not my memory of it. But once I saw the camera, I'm like, oh, I guess
you have the worst memory ever.
Alexander, I never said nobody helped her in the bathroom. We put her on a bench on the deck.
I don't think she was ever in the bathroom.
The whole scandal with Boogie's girlfriend, she went off. She was hanging out with a couple other girls at the party, and they were on the paddle boat for like an hour, and they must have been slamming them because after she came back, she could barely stand, and people right away took care of her. She was fine. Boogie did not force alcohol on her, and
I didn't leave her side until she was fine.
Well, I mean, you didn't leave anyone's side. You were in the same spot.
Got up, and even then I just got up and moved 2 chairs over. I just moved to the end of the table. I was still right with an eye shot over. You act like I was in another room. I literally could stare.
No, you guys are making a much bigger deal than it. What it was is she was young. She's like 90 fucking pounds, and she had a little bit more she could handle.
Yeah, she doesn't drink. She doesn't drink, and this is one of her very first times ever drinking. She doesn't really do alcohol, and she just had one too many. Need to throw it up, and she threw it up, and we went home, and she was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as far as this thread goes, like I said, I mean, we're stuck at like it's like a Mexican stand-up. But what do? You can't talk about certain things.
Right, I mean, at the end of the day, what I suggest for you and everyone else is just assume I'm lying, because I would rather you did that than to persecute this person.
We're not persecuting anybody when you're the one that brought up bringing this conversation into the public domain.
I understand. Persecute me instead.
No. You've been throwing out shit like this. Persecute people. You said we're manipulating you earlier. Keemstar orders you to do stuff. You choose to do things on your own.
Okay.
And then people are left to sort through this shit and try to figure out what's true and not.
Okay. Well, just assume I'm lying. I've lied so much at this point.
This is manipulation. You're doing it right now. You're literally doing it right now.
I'm just.
I think we should drop this whole fucking like sexual abuse thing, because
we've been on it for about an hour.
Honestly, I don't
that's all
care.
That matters. Like, it doesn't affect anybody else.
At the end of the day, I don't care about any of this stuff. I really don't, and it's not a good topic. What I do care about is justice. You have lied to the goddamn YouTube community and lied to the goddamn people that support you and care about you for over a decade. You've been lying and manipulating, and every time you get confronted with real criticism, oh, I got cancer. Oh, I was molested, and that's got to end today. You need to be a new person. You need to be a better person, a honest person. Cut the manipulation completely fucking out and pay your dues to society. I want that tattoo of liar on your goddamn face, and this audience will accept you back. Do you accept?
I want to know what's happening to the golden play button. I want to make sure.
He's sending it to me. I'm going to take it. It's going to be in my house.
That's okay.
Right under a plaque that says a guy that actually has cancer gets this golden play button.
That's okay, as long as the original agreement. The original agreement was that money's going to charity, and that's very important to me.
The charity is called the guy that actually has cancer gets the golden play button.
That's fine as long as you make a donation. The original agreement was a donation to St. Jude, so as long as there's a hefty donation to St. Jude's, I don't care what happens to it. That's why I gave it up.
My house, and it was it's coming to my place.
It's either
as long as you make a hefty donation to St. Jude's.
It's either going to stay here and I will make the donation, or Jim will make the donation, or Muta will make the donation. Someone is going to make a donation for sure. I don't trust it with a fan because I think it'll be lost to history if we let a fan get it.
Y'all got to melt that bitch down and make it to a chain.
I mean, it's mostly just fucking steel. Someone on YouTube.
Steel fucking melts. Steel fucking melts.
I'm just saying, like, it's not. If you melt it down, it's not going to appear gold anymore.
Yeah,
there's so very little gold on
it. What's the donation you're giving, Muta? To what is it? St. Jude's or something?
St. Jude's, yeah.
Whatever St. Jude is, I don't know.
I'd say it's got to be $1,000.
You don't know what St. Jude's is?
Wait, I thought Boogie was the one giving the donation to charity.
No, I gave up the play button.
He already gave up $1,000 to St.
Yeah, and I already made a donation, and I also bought your puzzle from you, Metokur.
That's why I'm saying, like, you got to match.
Yeah, there's a Metokur. There's
$1,000.
There's a $45 charge on my credit card. If you want to see it, I'll send it to you. But I bought some of your merch as a very.
Yeah, I know. I heard you on stream say that you were buying stuff, and then I checked. Well, I just want to anything, and then after I tweeted that, I went and checked again, and suddenly there's an order.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't figured that out. Me and Muta will talk behind the scenes, and we'll come to. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. Initially, I was going to put it up for
Lord
auction.
Rush says he offers $10,000 for the play button.
Who did?
Lord Rush.
All right, can we get 11? Anybody got 11 out there?
See, this is what I was afraid was going to happen.
No, and listen, Keemstar, whatever the highest bid is, if you match it, then guess what? You get to keep it.
Keem, aren't punishments supposed to be painful? He seems pretty easy going about everything.
Giving up my play button is pretty goddamn painful. Getting a face tattoo is pretty goddamn painful.
Yeah, but you want you want the story of your play button helping people out with cancer. That's what you want the story to be.
That was the original agreement we made.
Booty Beauty
I just want you to stay on the original agreement. That's all that matters.
Boogie. I understand you want me to stay with the original agreement, but doesn't it suck when people fucking lie?
You're willing to say that you lied about giving money to a cancer charity right now? Is that what you're willing to say?
I'm saying, doesn't it suck when people lie and manipulate?
So are you doing that here?
Are you not going to answer the question?
Yes, it does suck. Is that what you're doing here?
It's really, really sucks when someone lies and manipulates you.
Is that what you're doing here? That you lied about giving money to a cancer charity?
For a financial gain. Lie and manipulate for a financial gain.
I donated my money. Let's see you donate yours.
Everyone, I was diagnosed with cancer. You never were. When you get caught with the crypto scam, I had to pay for my cancer fucking stuff.
Donated to the fucking.
That was a lie.
I showed Keemstar the receipt. He's seen it.
Yeah, but you're a web developer. You know how to inspect Element. I don't even believe shit out of that, dude.
I was a web developer back in 1996. I haven't touched.
Yeah, I think everybody knows how to do Control-Shift-I every once in a while.
What is that,
dude? Like I said, I don't believe shit. Again, even going to the abuse stuff, you just said everyone should assume you're a liar now.
Yeah.
So if you know how that actually think is worse than the cancer lie. That's actually way worse than the fucking.
Listen, I don't care, and I'll tell you
shit like that, bro. There's.
Listen, what I'm saying is, I don't care about this one. Because it's fundamentally not true, right? I cared about the cancer thing because I knew I had not been fully diagnosed.
Diagnosis, and then 4 days later, we were all fucking right.
The whole play button, the whole reason why he gave me the play button is because he wants to be the story. He wants the story to be, I gave up my play button.
I gave it because you agreed to
help St. Jude's. That's the story you want it to be. That's the only reason.
That's the story. That's the story you told me.
That's the only reason.
Yes, sure. I would like money to go to St. Jude's to make up.
No,
for the
you want
thing
good PR.
Good PR manipulation.
How's that manipulation? You're the one who suggested it.
Because you just got caught with this crypto scam, this cancer lie, and then the newest story on top of that will be Boogie donates play button to help dying children.
No.
And everybody will be like, "Oh my God, it's like cute puppies."
Why don't you match whatever the donating party is donating? How about we try that?
I don't have that. I have $3,000 in my bank account, man.
Okay, then I'll donate $3,000 and you match it.
I'm not gonna. I need to pay mortgage.
I'm not gonna help those kids.
I'm not going to go homeless for those kids.
Time out. If he donates $3,000 and you match his $3,000,
I literally cannot. I won't pay for my health insurance.
I will pay to mail you this thing back. I swear to God.
I literally
do it right now.
I'll do it right. I'll do this first thing in the morning.
You'll mail it back. I get my play button back.
Yeah, if you donate
$3,000. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. How is Boogie going to pay his mortgage?
Did he just leave?
What?
He might have. We're talking about donating to them sick kids. Fucking.
I'm just saying, like y'all trying to manipulate this man to throw all the money he has left into this.
Oh no, there he is.
What happened?
I mean,
I typed in stjude.com.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to
and the internet said, "Nope, we're not going to let."
Nope, I'm giving up literally every dime of my bank account.
Think about this before you do this.
Fuck it. Who needs fucking health insurance? Fuck it.
You don't need it. You don't even have cancer.
I thought you.
Oh God damn it! I accidentally donated 25. God damn it! Because that's what's the default on the website. Let me go ahead and do 3,000. Now it's going to be 3,025.
Okay.
You just said you only had 3,000.
Wait, are you really going to donate $3,000?
Yeah, he is. Like I'm saying, don't.
I'm literally not going to have.
I don't want to see the St. Jude thing. I want to see a thing in your bank statement that says it went down from.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine.
Oh my lord.
I'm going to mail him this play button back. Holy shit.
All right, let's fucking do it,
dude. You guys don't feel bad that this man might empty his fucking bank account?
No, Wings, no.
Dude, let me say something here, man. As the only other motherfucker here that don't have like generational fucking money.
Let Wings talk. Let Wings talk. Go ahead.
Like having no money for food or lights or anything like that is fucking destroying your mental health. He might make more mistakes because of this action that he's doing right now, just because he wants something he worked hard on back. I can understand. One of my goals in life was to get a gold play button, which I might never ever fucking get because I'm a terrible content creator.
Check your text.
But like getting him to do this makes you a bad person.
I'll take the blame.
Holy shit, he already did it.
I'll do it.
He donated $3,000 to St. Jude. He really did it. Holy shit.
Country, United States, Canada.
Now the ball's in Mutah's court.
3,025, Mutahar, in American money.
Yeah, of course. I only make money in USD.
You said something about Canada. That's why I said.
Don't worry, I set the USD option. Don't worry.
Do you guys see how bad he wants this to be the story?
No, I just at the end of the day, I realized you're not going. No, I realized you weren't going to donate to St. Jude, so I'll take it back.
Sure, bro. Okay. Donate
manipulated again. You don't know what I was doing. You don't know what I'm doing.
You just said. Thanks, Mutahar. Actually,
really awesome. No, just donated. Here, I'm going to print the receipt and I'm going to send it.
No, you don't have to print anything. I trust you, Muta. It's awesome. I really.
No, let him show his verification. You did.
Hey, team, I'm going to send this to you. It has my address on it, but just verify it, okay?
Okay.
If you want to get the bank receipt from my bank, let me know, okay?
I don't care about any of that, but
I don't care what you think. I'm sending it to Keem.
Okay.
Just chill out.
This is crazy. We've raised $6,000 for St. Jude tonight.
There you go, Keem. I sent it to you on iMessage, the St. Jude receipt.
Yep, that's $3,000. Okay, guys, $6,000 went to St. Jude.
Actually, 6,025. You still owe 25 more.
And yeah, he did 3,000.
You owe 25 more, Muta.
He did it.
I did it.
Okay. Gotcha.
He did it. I just read it wrong. So, guys, 6,050 went to St. Jude, and Boogie's play button went to Keemstar. What a great night.
He's processing it. Give him a minute.
No, I trust that you'll send it back. And if it doesn't happen, Dan, I'm literally health insurance hits in 3 days.
Well, even if you get your play button, what are you going to do with it?
I don't know.
Hug onto it while you can't go to the doctor.
I have an offer from somebody.
Oh, that's why you want it back.
No, I'm just saying maybe Lord Rush. I don't know.
Oh, so you're going to... Okay.
I would like to be able to pay for my health insurance. That would be nice.
So he's going to make a $7,000 profit on this donation.
No, probably not. I'm like I've said, I would like to be able to pay my health insurance though.
He's going to make a $7,000 profit on this donation that he made.
I probably won't. I probably won't sell it.
$5K in your account?
Do what?
Don't you have like $5K in your account according to like what?
I did at the beginning of the month, but the month has progressed and bills came due.
Keem, what's his bank account look like right now? Did he send you the statement of that or just Jude?
No, it's just. Can I get a screenshot screenshot of your bank account real quick?
I don't even believe it. See right there.
Don't give them a
why?
bank account.
I just want to know how much money's in there.
No.
There's a lot of
money. Well, now I got to ask why not.
There's a lot of money. I told you I had about $3,000.
How much money is in your bank account, Metokur?
Right now? Yeah. More than $3,000. After Wednesday, it's going to be a way more than $3,000, Jeff.
Boogie, I can say this, right? You are a disaster, but you are still like one of the most fucking entertaining people online. You are. That's why I did this show. Like, you're a complete fucking mess. Yeah. I swear to God. And I don't know why you get so like down on yourself, because it's like you got nothing to lose. What do you have to lose? What are you going to lose?
My life.
No, you're not. You're not. That's more lies.
Donate, bro.
You got nothing left to lose. You've lost it all.
I have left.
Your entire future is
literally
W's.
Said the thing that you have, even if you had told the truth about it, was a 20-year prognosis.
Yeah, that's what I said in the video.
Right. So what do you mean you're going to lose your life in 20 years?
No, I'm just he's saying, what do I have left? My life. That's the only thing I have left. He's just asking what I have
it's
left.
Like talking to a Tumblr chick. Stop with the suicide baiting shit.
That's not suicide baiting. I'm just saying.
Yes, it fucking is. It's every fucking thing with everything with you.
He asked me what I had left. I said I have my life. He said what do I have left? I said I have my life. I said I'm still alive.
It's everything.
That's all I have left. He asked me what I had left. I said I'm still alive. He asked me what I had left.
Jim, you better stop. He's gonna grab the butter knife.
Oh my God, the spatula's coming out.
Well,
just
guys,
off with the Tumblr stuff.
He didn't even follow you. He didn't even show his account to Keem. I'll show my bank account to you, Keem.
Guys,
right now.
we've been live for like 3.5 hours. I'm gonna have to cut it. But look, before I do, what? Everyone get their 2 cents in. Wings, what do you got for us? How do you? You didn't really get a chance to talk about how fucking dumb it was for him to donate that $3,000. Go ahead, man.
I think it was fucking dumb to donate the $3,000, especially since his healthcare.
He never donated.
How you know he doesn't donate?
Because he's not showing his bank statement.
I just showed it. It was on PayPal, motherfucker, and I showed it on PayPal. And PayPal's going to process it through my bank in the morning. But it's already gone. PayPal showed it. I sent it. I showed him PayPal.
Can I send it to Muta? Can I send the screenshot to Muta? Okay.
I can play devil's advocate here. You can charge PayPal back pretty easily.
That's what I'm saying. Those kids are only getting $3,000.
Oh shit! But but even if I believe he sent the money, and I would never pay $3,000 for that gold play button back. I mean, I would never send it to begin with. I mean, like, you did a good enough job not sending me the silver play button. You could easily have not sent that fucking gold play button. But you do you. It's going to suck in a week from now when you're going to want an RB slider and you ain't got the money to buy an RB slider.
I'm more worried about health insurance, but you know.
Didn't you downgrade to the lowest tier or anything? You don't give a fuck.
No, I downgraded to the silver tier.
Oh God, this show is awesome. I love this show.
I want to address the chat because the chat say I don't talk that often. I talk when it's pertinent because sometimes other people are doing things that are more entertaining.
Yeah, good. Wings, you're the best at that. All right.
Wings is getting great singers in.
Yeah,
you know, if we keep going, we can actually pay back all the crypto scam.
Oh shit! You only have to donate what, another $7,000. Go ahead, Muta.
Yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it.
I genuinely don't have it, so that's not a possibility.
Floor's yours, Muta. Let's end this thing out.
This is the only way that, by the way, me and Coffee have been like draining out the money back to the scam.
Yeah, well, I've donated now 4,000 of the initial 5,000.
He has.
Yep.
He has.
Good job.
Actually, 4,025. But go ahead, Jim. What do you got for us?
Oh, I thought Moody was going to go.
Oh
no, I'm go ahead, Jim. Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, I'm not super familiar with the background on the stuff we brought up, so I just kind of went through the thread, and it's hard to kind of dance around it. But just, 2 years lying about the cancer thing, misrepresenting it, people are going to have doubts about everything you say from this point forward. Yeah, it is okay. And, it's weird to me, like, I don't know. I've observed over like the last week when you're arguing with these guys and the people you hang out with or do videos and content and shit with, it's like you like to throw out that they're like liars. Like Muta won't do the money and I don't trust him. Wings is lying about this conversation. Keemstar makes me do everything that I do. It's like you project all this shit on all these other people, man. And then when it comes back to you, it's I'm gonna, it's the whole. All I've got left is my life, and I'm gonna do it. And here's a.
No, I didn't say I was gonna do it. What are you fucking talking about? He asked me what I have left. I said I have my life, man. I said,
yeah, I know. We know what you did.
We know what you were doing. Shut up,
know what
Boogie.
you're doing.
Come
dude.
on.
I don't know where you go from here. I don't know where this is headed.
I do, but we were discussing earlier.
He's doing it again. I do.
I told you I'm going to Branson. I already told you.
Yeah. Right.
How are you going to afford to move to Branson if you can't pay your fucking medical insurance tomorrow?
He's got equity in his house.
Yeah.
If he's got debt in his house too, it's not like.
Well, the house, the market says the house is worth about $480 right now. I paid $250 for it. I have $160,000 left on the house. So once we're done, I should clear close to.
I will buy the house.
No, I got a plan for it. I'd rather.
He literally just said you'd buy your house.
I'd rather have the equity out of it. It'll go on the market, and if you're the one who buys it, that's fine by me.
Oh my God! You can make it like the LOLCOW Live headquarters.
Dude, I'll make it a museum. And like right at the entrance, there's a cardboard cutout with Boogie and the gun.
And the gold play button.
How do you plan to move to Branson? You're zero now in your account.
I'm not doing it today. Would you like to hear the plan now? Finally,
no, you're not going to Branson. Shut up. You can pay your mortgage.
It's in the next 6 months to a year, but the plan is very simple. We're selling off my collectibles right now. We've got bids on I just got the bid from Brian. It's $1,800 for my arcade one-ups. So they're going to come and get them. And that's $1,800 in my pocket. My Magic collection's going to get cataloged by Glenn this week. I don't know how much I'll get. Half of what they're worth is what he generally pays. So I'll get about half of what they're worth in cash. And I'll have that. And I'm going to use that to stay in the house as long as I can build equity, which I project with that amount of money, 6 to 8 months with this income coming in for the next 5 months from getting bought out. Then when we're no longer able to live here anymore, Chad's going to move back home with his family. I don't know what'll happen to the other roommate. Maybe he'll come to Branson with us. And then me and Dezi are going to take the nest egg from selling this house and move closer to her family. And that's the plan.
Cool. My last thing, Keem.
Yeah, go ahead.
My closing thought. You were talking about trying to find a good punishment. I've got it for Boogie if you want to bring it back on.
I'm still here.
Yeah. No, I mean if you want to come back on the show, right? Like I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was like no familiarity with this particular subject, and I don't think like Muta or anybody else did, right? We're kind of flying blind a little bit. If you want him to come back on, you should let his biggest fucking A-logs come on and present their case for his bullshit and lies.
What is an A-log?
Your biggest haters.
Biggest haters.
I would rather do that than a tattoo, so let's set that up for the next episode.
No. Tattoo.
I won't do both.
What? You'll do whatever I say.
No, we just
don't. I control you? Don't I control you?
No, we've just agreed that that's not going to happen anymore, right? Medica told me to stop doing that.
No, you're lying. I'm not your fucking dude. I'm so sick of this manipulation. Boogie, I will say this to you. Obviously, I was trolling you. I'm not going to scam you out of your play button, and there was no intention to scam you to get the play button. I was going to sell it for charity, but then I figured, I don't want some random person having it. Maybe it's better that Muta has. That's why I said we'll talk about it behind the scenes, right? Okay. So I was just trolling you to fuck with you.
I like this
to let you know that lying and manipulation's not fucking cool, but you didn't really get that. You got really offended right away, and you didn't really get the point that I was trying to get across to you.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my bank statement.
Well, the good news is the good news is I'm getting my play button back, and charity got helped, so that's all that matters.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. All right, Boogie.
Wait, if I donate a little bit more, do I get the play button? We matched.
If I get my 3,000 back, sure.
You take money back from dying kids?
No. I mean, Mutahar would also have to give me my 3,000 back.
Somebody clip that.
Oh my fuck.